On today's episode of Backyard Podcast, we got my boy, Austin Pope. Austin and myself played against each other in college while we were in the same conference. That's where our friendship started. But today we get to learn about his continuous pro journey, NBA guys he's got to compete against, and his future aspirations. Sit back, relax, and enjoy. The storytelling in this one is amazing. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls all over the world, I'm your host, Marcellus Howe. Welcome back to the episode of Backyard Podcast. I'm here with my guy, longtime friend somewhat. He was a college opposing player of mine with the Chaminade University, or is it University of Chaminade? How you say it?
Chaminade University.
Chaminade University.
Yeah.
Goes by the name of Austin Pope. Skinny Harden. I like to say his game kind of reflects a left-handed Mikal Bridges on the low. On the low, because he could play defense, can shoot.
Hey, I ain't heard that's a good one.
That's a good one. I was saving that for the pod today, man. Appreciate you pulling up on me though, man.
I appreciate you for having me on, man. Appreciate
most definitely,
it.
man.
It's been a minute, man.
Man, I haven't seen you since 2018.
Yeah, when y'all beat us at Holy Names.
Yeah. When we cooked y'all a little bit.
Yeah.
How you feeling, man?
Man, I'm feeling great, man. You know, first time really being out in SAC.
Yeah.
You know, enjoying myself, dog. Like, it's a real nice atmosphere. Got a lot of great people.
For sure.
So I'm loving it, dog. Great time.
And I see, man, you already repping the brand, Stockton basketball, huh?
You know what I mean? You know, that's what I'm up here for the G League.
Okay.
And, you know, hopefully bigger and better things with SAC, with the Kings.
Yeah.
But, you know, step at a time. But that's what I'm here for.
Okay.
You feel me? Repping the brand strong, though.
I want to, talk about your story a little bit before we talk about more of the G League stuff, the pro stuff, and the college stuff a little bit. In high school, you went to Burbank High School.
Yes, sir.
We were talking a little bit off camera here. You had the opportunity to play against my twin brother, Spencer Dinwiddie.
Yeah, that is your twin.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
And now I'm just throwing that little quick little lob out there before we talk about it, because I want to talk about your backstory going in to playing at high school, man. So as a younger kid playing basketball, what was it that did it for you? Like, what about basketball was I got to play that sport?
Man, well, I started playing at 4, you know what I mean? And I think, my mom, she played at Crenshaw High School.
Okay.
Was a 2-time all-league player at Crenshaw. She was a bucket. If you let her tell it, she taught me how to play. But, man, that was pretty much the drive. She put the ball in my hands. And I think at the end of the day, like, a lot of my cousins, a lot of relatives and stuff like that played the game of basketball. So I grew up in a family basketball household. Everybody loved basketball, so it was just natural. And I played a lot of other sports, football, baseball, soccer, but just basketball was so natural in my household. So that drove me into being, I wanted to be the best in my family. You know, I knew my uncles and my cousins, my mom, I was like, well, I got to be better than all them. Yeah, for sure. Talk
about your intangibles, man. How tall are you right now?
Well, shoot, they measure me in at 6'4.5" without shoes. Okay. So, we're going, NBA height, 6'5".
Get a little inch, yeah.
You know what I mean?
For sure.
Yeah.
Growing up, were you always tall, lengthy?
Yes.
So you had the height from a kid.
Yeah, my mom is about 5'8", Pop's about 6'3".
Okay.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And they're both long. Yeah. And I obviously like myself. So I was always like the tallest kid on my teams, you feel me? But at the end of the day, like, they put me out because I could dribble the basketball. So I was always like the point guard, but I was the tallest on the court. It was weird, you know what I mean? But it worked for me, so.
Okay.
Yeah.
I want to ask you one question, man, before we dive into the storytelling.
Absolutely.
For those that may not know who you are, Austin Pope, what is one thing that Austin Pope wants to leave, like, as impacting wise on the game of basketball, just for those people that don't know, so they can get to understand why you do what you do?
Man, that's a great question. I think it's just the perseverance, in the game of basketball. I feel like, a lot of people that have walked in our shoes, they give up on their dreams. They give up when they get told no. I went to a small high school, went to a small college, went overseas. I've had to do things a little bit untraditional, but I persevered through everything. Like, no matter what it's been through, I've always, like, pushed through. So for the next generation, I could teach them about, my spin moves or, my game. But at the end of the day, it's always about pushing through and keep going through adversity. Like, I think for the next kid that's looking at this, that's definitely what it is, for sure.
Love it. That's kind of my big message that I want to get across to the audience watching out there. There was a comment the other day that someone was saying, in order for your podcast to take off, you need more popular players, more star-studded type of guest. And I was like, well, if you think that this podcast is to become the most popular because of the guests I have on here, you're here for the wrong reasons.
That's a fact.
This podcast is for those people to understand and learn messages and stories from people that look like them, talk like them, who are in positions that they're in. It's more reasonable that way. And I feel like I'm able to accept a message more from someone who I am in tangible reach of grasping than me looking at a LeBron James or a Carmelo Anthony, or you know what I'm saying?
Right? Yeah, of course. It's like more relatable for sure.
More relatable. That's my big thing that I want to leave here on the Backyard Podcast is relatability, man. Bring people in here that you can relate to.
Absolutely.
I'm not here for the star clicks, or I'm not here for the clickbait stuff. Like, of course, we'll get some star caliber players on here, whatever that may be to you guys. But I feel like everyone's a star in their own right in whatever the profession that they're in.
Man.
But yeah, so it's dope that you say that. Moving on to high school, right? So you say you went to Burbank High School.
Yes, sir.
Which there's actually a Burbank High School in Sacramento, which is in South Sacramento.
I know.
Yeah.
And then I think I don't know if Malik Pope went there.
Malik Pope went there. Yep.
Yeah. So people.
So
used to get us
are
mixed
y'all?
up.
Yeah. Are y'all cousins related?
We not.
You know?
We not. I had I had a coach from San Diego State actually. Tony Bland. He actually was recruiting me and him at the same time. He's like, I'm recruiting your cousin. I'm like, it's not my cousin, but I appreciate it though. You know what I mean? I'm like, I appreciate it though. But so Burbank High School, it's a show school. So I went to a school where we had people. Blake Lively went to my high school. We had what's the girl's name? Dove Cameron. She was like, we have a lot of entertainers because we're maybe 10 minutes away from Hollywood. So we got a lot of the Disney Channel kids and Nickelodeon kids. We're like the media capital of the world, Burbank. So it's not a big sports school. But I went there. I lived up the street from there. My parents moved me there when I was about 6 or 7 from Crenshaw. And then it's been home ever since for me, Burbank. So loved my time at Burbank High. Loved it.
What was one moment for you that was like a breakout moment in high school, basketball-wise?
It was definitely playing against your twin, Spence. Shout out to my boy Spence, man.
Yeah.
We matched up with them at the Galen Center in the USC team camp, and they definitely had the more superior team. You know what I mean? But I was able to put on a show, and I wasn't starstruck at all. I was kind of used to that scene being in AAU. Yeah. But that particular game, I definitely went bonkers, and I had 30 at the end of the first half, and the second half, it was a little different for me, a little bit more urgency, a little bit more, the lights was on me. But it was one of those games that made me believe that I could really do this. You know what I mean? Like, and it was like Spencer, you got DeAndre Daniels, they had Landon Drew, which is Larry Drew's younger brother, Ajon Efferson. Like, they had a squad, bro. Like, that, I think they had a big man that went to Seton Hall. Like, they had a squad, and it was just me and my best childhood friend, Andre Spite. That was it was a 2-man show. But we competed, lost by 12, but I knew at that moment, I was like, I could do this.
So, correct me if I'm wrong, you were telling me that at this time, Spence was more of a distributor. Yeah. He wasn't like really scoring like how he is today.
Oh, no. So Spence was like, during that time, he was, I wouldn't say Rondo because he could always shoot, but he was, because he had all those dudes on his team, he was on a star-studded team, he was facilitating like crazy, and he was probably $150 soaking wet at that time. You know what I mean? And from there, when he left TAF, went to Colorado. In his final 2 schools, I believe, was Colorado, Harvard, but he chose Colorado. Bro, like, completely different body, completely different game, side steps, step backs, game winners. I'm like, oh shit, like Spencer really got on his thing. You know what I mean? Like, he on some shit now. So, for me, it was like really cool seeing that. Because, I was a scorer, but then transitioned to passer. But it was kind of cool to see somebody similar to me in a way, find their footing. You know what I mean? It was really dope, really dope.
That's dope because not a lot of people get to play against NBA caliber players or NBA players or people who weren't NBA at the time but now the NBA now. That's like an elite company. Only a very few amount of people in this world can say, I got to play against so-and-so before they were in the league. Yeah, right?
That's facts.
And it's one of those players where you're like, you didn't know he was going to be an NBA player at the time because there's so many great players on that team. He went to Taft High School, which is a predominantly basketball school.
Easy.
It's kind of like the modern day kids. Like, when you play basketball at such a high level, you play guys that are like, okay, he's one of those.
Yeah.
He can make it to the league, but dang, he's really good too. But on the same team, he might get more of the spotlight, and it's just there's not so much room to get in. It's only 60 a year. That's draft,
and that's 450 spots, dog.
450, 60 draft, undrafted. Then you got the guys from the G League that are trying to get there. Then you got the overseas guys.
Yeah,
so you got to be really cream of the crop.
Yeah, no, it's and to be in at that time, you putting that in perspective, like you don't think about that stuff. Like
think about that.
Like I knew Spencer was good because he was from the city, and I knew he can play. But you know, just alone, like in that tournament, we played against like Stanley. We played against you name it. We played against a bunch of dudes in that tournament where they're like, them is some dudes. You know what I mean? Them dudes about to go to the highest level. So to see Spencer's progression, it actually made it like very possible for, you know, players that are like myself and stuff, because he also went to Colorado. That's not a premier Pac-12 school. They had freshly moved to the Pac-12 at that time. They added them in Utah. And for him to come in and do that, I think he went 3 years and tore his ACL last year and still exited. You know what I mean? And then, you know, bounced around a little bit in the league, found his footing, and shoot, man, he making a lot of M's now, so I think he's good.
He's definitely making a lot of chicken right now. Yeah. Spence, you watching this, man? I'll make sure you see this clip. I do need my ones for the face. Yeah. just trying to get my face back. You know,
on, Spence. You need the ones with Sale. Come on, man, let's do that.
I need that to make that happen. That'll be epic just for the culture. The fans out there, let us see it. I don't even care to win or lose. It's just it'll be dope to get some bump with people who say you look like them or they look like. I seen him play Austin Mills, so I said, "Oh, so he plays people in the space."
Oh no!
So I said, I need my ones, and I heard his ones is top 3 in the league.
Yeah, like we worked out this summer. He got ones. You know what I mean? You know, I ain't gonna lie and sit on here and act like he not that. He he is that. You know, and he's very confident in that department as well. I'll say that for sure. So, hey Spence, tap in with Sale and let's get it done, man.
Let's do it. But before we get to the next topic,
yeah,
I think it's because he wears his shirt off. It's cheating.
Yeah, no,
he be real slimy and slippery and all that. Like, that's cheating, bro.
And he is strong as shit. So it's like, bro, I can't even like put my hand. I can't touch.
I have no friction, no nothing. So I'm like, hey, you know what, Spence, you're cheating. Matter of fact, you're cheating. You know what? Put a shirt on. Yeah, it's just us.
Yeah,
it's just us men here. You know what I'm saying? So going from high school, you then go to CSI.
Yeah.
Which is, if those don't know, college that Pierre Jackson went to. One of the famous Pierre Jackson. Talk about that experience there, man, and what was the imprint you left on the junior college game?
Well, first of all, man, you know, the recruiting process out of high school was good for me. I had a lot of local schools, but, you know, for kids watching this, you know, academics is very important. And I didn't value the academics as much as I should have in high school. So, you know, transitioning, I had to go to junior college, and I had no clue about junior college or none of that stuff. You know what I mean? I was just like, all right, cool. Like, let me go to when I ended up going to a camp where I actually went like bonkers. I was in Vegas, and they rated me as like, at the time, the #1 rated point guard in junior college basketball, going into not even playing the game yet.
Yeah.
So a bunch of JUCOs are hitting me up like, come to our school. And, you know, I just felt like it was the right fit. I knew a couple people that were there. Never been to Idaho. I didn't even know where it was on the map. You know what I mean? Like, I was like, I didn't know what Idaho looked like. But when I got down there, it was like being at Kentucky. Like, it was like, like I played with dudes that were former Minnesota commits or bounced back from University of Washington. And, you know, I played with dudes that played at Rainier. I played with predominantly a lot of dudes that played at Rainier Beach High School. Yeah. You know, which is a Jamal Crawford school and a powerhouse, you know. So we were stacked, loaded. Like, I was the smallest person on our starting 5.
Wow.
Like, we had 2 wings, 6'6", 6'7", big, 6'9", center, 7 foot. You know what I mean? Got dudes coming off the bench, 6'8". Like, we was like a real life professional team for real.
Yeah.
And for me, it was just about finding my footing and finding my role, because I knew junior college is very reminiscent to 4-year college. So you got to be able to fit into a role. You can't just be down here in high school and just jacking up every time. Facts. You got to really find your role. So I went in there and I put together a really good career, man. Won a lot of games. I think one year we were top 5 in the country. We one game short of winning, like going to the national tournament, which still hurts me to this day. You know what I mean? Because that's where everybody in America goes. You know what I mean? And but then from there, man, I think it made me who I was, though. Yeah. JUCO like really made me, for sure, 1,000%. Like, without that, I'm not who I am today, for sure. No chance.
I can agree, man. You know, being a fellow junior college product myself.
You feel me? Yeah.
One thing you left out though, it's a national junior college, by the way.
Yeah. Oh, my fault. Yeah.
Yes.
It is a national. So national JUCOs is like scholarship, and it's like you're in like you're Division I scholarship. You know, like you're in the dorms. You have study. It's different. Like I know from experience from my friends, they went to Cali JUCOs, like Long Beach City, and stuff like that, and COC and stuff. Like it's a little different.
Very different.
It's a little different, but it's still competitive as hell. Like it's so tough to get out of any JUCO situation because you're almost set up to fail in a sense where they don't believe it. You got a bunch of dudes. I played with dudes on my team that was 28 in JUCO, dude in our league, in and out of jail. And you know what I mean? Like it's different.
Yeah.
But National JUCO was like seeing Coach Greg Marshall and all the head coaches and any college coach you can name was coming to our gym. Yeah. National schedule, playing all across the country was definitely amazing for sure.
It's one thing about JUCO, man, that I tell people a lot of the time is when you're in it, right, you don't even notice how susceptible you are to failing.
Yeah.
Right? Because there's not many spots, right? one. Two, you come in, okay, college coaches are like, dang, you know, I love this guy, but I don't want to take a chance. I only have 2 years with him. I only get 1 year with him rather than getting a freshman that could build up from day one. So it's like you have a lot of odds stacked against you. So you really got to be in the right situation at the right time in front of the right coach.
Yeah, no,
right?
For sure. Yeah,
it has to be just that.
It's like opportunity is everything within that space, man. Like you, because I've seen so many talented players that I've played with, that I've seen play that slipped through the crack because they didn't have the right opportunity. You know what I mean? And it wasn't the right fit for them. And then they're working 9 to 5s. They're not playing no more. And it's like, it's actually crazy because within the right situation, we might be talking about them as one of the best 450 players in the world. You know what I mean?
Come on, in front of the right eyes. I've always said it. Just because a player most of the time is ranked higher than someone doesn't mean they're better than somebody.
Oh, 1,000%.
Outside of the Ramones out there, LeBron, Ramon, James. You know what I'm saying? The Kobe Bryants, the Kyrie Irvings, the Zions. People like that be like, okay, yeah, that's legit. That's the number one type of guy.
He got it.
He got it.
Yeah.
But when it comes down to like 20, 21, 22, 23, 30, 35, I really don't be seeing no difference a lot of the times.
Yeah.
So kids out there watching, don't get too much entangled into the rank game.
Nah.
I'm telling you right now, one of my best friends, DJ Wilson, was ranked, I think, 100 and it was in the 130s coming out of high school.
Yeah.
Top 20 pick. He went from 130 to number 17 to the Bucks.
It's not where you start; it's where you finish every time.
Especially in this sport.
Yes, yeah, because
especially in this sport.
Because like a lot of the times, my coach JUCO coach would always say, what he would say. He would say, like, you know, they draft off potential. They do things off potential. Potential could get you fired. Production can't. Like, because if you value somebody's playoff production and they're producing, they're doing a thing, you don't draft off potential because potentially you could be good. Yes. And those are the dudes that could be ranked higher than you because they have strong potential. But if you keep working and grinding, like the hours going to pay off and them dudes is going to slip because they don't work as hard as you.
100%.
You know what I mean? That's a fact.
Speaking of working hard and producing, at the junior college, you did that.
Yeah.
You had a top 4 or top 5?
I had top 5.
What were the top 5 schools that offered that would get in your top 5?
Man, well, I actually got a funny story to say.
Okay, tee off, yeah.
But before I get into that, so I remember being in junior college, and you know, at the time, you know, I had a lady friend that I was, you know, with, and we're in the cafeteria, and my phone's going off the hook, like, you know, and we had an argument, and my phone's off the hook, and she's like, "Answer it. Why you not answering it?" You know what I mean? And I'm like, "All right, I'll answer it." Flipped it over, like, "Hello. Hey, how you doing? This is Coach Kevin Ali from UConn. How you doing, sir?" I'm like, yo, I gotta pick this up. I gotta go. You know what I mean? I thought I was in trouble. You know what I mean? But that's what kind of junior college experience I had. I was getting calls from everywhere. You know, at one point. So my Final 5 was Creighton, Wichita State, Arizona State, TCU, and Hawaii. Wow. Those are my Final 5. Yeah.
It's a good 5.
Yeah, man. And I had to really narrow it. I had Utah. I had you name it, man. I had Oregon State, Washington State, Utah State, San Diego State, USC. Like, it was a lot that went into that. But Final 5, and I ended up choosing University of Hawaii. Easy call.
Why?
Well, outside of the beautiful weather, you know what I mean, and it being Hawaii.
Yeah.
Man, you know, being in junior college and living in Idaho, which is very cold. It's cold winters, long winters. I definitely wanted to go to a place that was more suited for my LA lifestyle that I grew up in. But aside from that, my junior college coach told me, like, you only have a couple years to play after this. You need to go somewhere where you're going to be yourself, where you're going to be Austin Pope from day one. So, you know, Wichita State was very upfront with me. They were like, we have Ron Baker, we have Clanthony Early, and we have Fred VanVleet. Those are our guards right now. You're going to come in here and you're going to be probably 7th, 8th man as a junior. And then if they come back, then it might be a lot of the same. I was very open with it. I was like, I appreciate that. And I received that very well. And I kind of wanted to take the visit just cause, but I was like, nah. So Creighton was one of the schools I really liked though. But Omaha, Nebraska, and Idaho is very similar. So I took a visit to ASU, and then when I came back, I had a visit set for Creighton. Got pushed back due to weather conditions, so I ended up going to Hawaii. I stepped off the flight, and it was like, yeah, man, this is where I'm supposed to be. And I knew I was going to have the ball in my hands, and 3 of the dudes on the team I played AU with. So it was like I feel comfortable, and it was an easy decision. Easy, very easy.
So you choose UH, right? And somehow you end up at Chaminade in the Pac West. Very interesting.
Yeah.
How does one go from UH to Chaminade in a matter of months?
Yeah, man.
And still able to play.
So, you know, quick backstory about it. You know, I was in junior college. I was a non-qualifier coming out of high school, so I had to go to junior college for 2 years. So I didn't have SAT score at all. So with me being there for 2 years, they were like, you have to graduate your AA. So they were loading me up on units, trying to push me to get out and stuff like that. And it got to the point where I didn't know me taking X amount of units in the summer or in the winter could count as a full-time semester.
Yes.
So me getting to UH, and we caught it very late. You know, it was too late at that point. When I got to UH, they told me, like, second day I was in class, like summer school, they're like, hey, man, like, we got to put you to compliance. I go down there, and they're like, hey, man, like, we're going to be honest with you. You're going to have 1 year to play with us. Wow. 2 years to go to school, like graduate, get your degree, 1 year to play. So it was a very hard conversation to have. And, you know, players have ego. You know, I came from a small school in California, as you know, like you mentioned, Taft, Mater Dei, St. John Bosco, all those top schools.
Artesian back then.
You know what I mean? Like you losing you got all the schools up here, you know, and it's like for me to be able to stand out and get recognition from Burbank, that was a lot for me. And then for that to happen and get humbled to go to JUCO, and then go to JUCO and be one of the best junior college players, and then for this to happen, it was like an ego hit. It hurt me a lot to do that. But I had a conversation with my circle, and it was like, you know, you got to play regardless of where you go. 1-2 years, you got to be able to produce.
Facts.
So it was an easy decision. Chaminade had recruited a couple of my junior college teammates, and went down there on a visit, met the players, met the coaches, and it was all she wrote. It was easy decision.
Are you sure it wasn't the Maui Invitational that was the enticing factor to play North Carolina and the likes of, who else was down there? Texas was down there.
You know what I mean?
You know, you get to play the ACC, you know. I mean, for me, if a coach tells me, hey, man, we got the Maui Invitational, we're playing, we have the opportunity to play such and such, but first game we play for sure this team, I'm like, ooh, I could be on ESPN.
Yeah.
D2.
Yeah, nah. I mean, that was the biggest selling point by far. Yeah. I mean, like,
which is a good selling point, though.
Absolutely. And like, you know, Coach Bovaert, and you know, that they use that, of course, because that's like, we're the only Division II school that has that platform, right? Yeah. So for us, man, it was he laid that out for me on the visit, and he showed me, like, these are the two tournaments you're gonna be playing in the Maui. So you're gonna be North Carolina. My first year I played North Carolina, which ended up winning the national championship that year.
Crazy.
Joe Barry, Justin Jackson, Kennedy Meeks, they had a squad, man, like absolute squad. There. And I had, you know, 15, 6, and 5. And then we played against UConn and Rodney Purvis, Jalen Adams. We lost to them by 8.
Okay.
Lost to them by 8. And then we played Tennessee, and they had Admiral Schofield. They had a couple other dudes that's in the, I forgot the other dude's name, but they were tough.
Yeah.
Lost to them by 6 my first year, junior. Senior year, we played Notre Dame, Matt Farrell, Bonzie Colson, Rex Pfluger. And then we played Michigan. We lost to Notre Dame by 15. We lost Notre Dame by 15.
Yeah.
Michigan by 30. They had Mo Wagner. They had Jordan Poole.
JP.
They
DJ was
had-
gone that year.
DJ was
Wilson
gone. Yeah,
just left.
he was in the league. And then
Yeah.
they had Duncan Robinson.
Oh gosh.
They ran us like
They had X. Xavier.
Oh my God. They had Charles Matthews. He just transferred from Kentucky.
Yeah.
Dog, they got us up out of there. Like that was probably one of the games I look back. I was like, man, we just had that. If we ran that game back 10 times, we was losing 10 times.
Yeah.
We just didn't have enough. Like John Beeline was a coach.
Yep.
I remember him coming into our locker room after, kind of trying to give us a little pep talk. Like, it's all good, you know. I used to coach at the smaller schools, you know, it's all good. And we was like, man, forget all that. You know what I mean? Like, watch out, like, you know.
Yeah.
And then the next game, we played Cal Berkeley, and we ended up beating Cal Berkeley by 30.
Jesus.
The largest deficit in malmutational history. So, you know, me and my boys have GOAT debates. I never call myself a GOAT or anything, but I know I can sit at the table when it comes to Chaminade. I know for sure.
Okay,
like,
respect that.
Like, 1,000. Because,
Yeah.
like, I feel like to sit at the table, you got to have stats. You got to do all that stuff, but you also got to have a Maui win.
Got to have Maui win.
You got to. Like,
Yeah.
I feel like it's only been like 9. So, like, you got to be in that class to sit at that table. And we beat them by 30, had 15, 9, and 7, no turnovers. I sat out like, you know, Steph Curry. Like, I sat out like last 5 minutes because it's like, you know what I mean? Like, we was blowing them out like that. You know what I mean? But so being at Chaminade, that was a big selling point for me. Like, being able to, that's like being a Division I player. It's like you're on TV, you getting heavy reps against NBA guys. So if you could show you do that, then you can play anywhere. You know what I mean? So that was the biggest selling point.
It's dope you say the Maui win, because I think my assistant coach at Holy Names, Lee Bailey, I think they beat Texas.
They beat
his
Texas,
year, I believe.
yeah.
And he was the boy on that team.
Lee is at the table.
Yeah,
for
Lee
sure.
is at that table.
Shout out to Lee, man.
Yeah. Lee's at that table because Lee could still go when we was at Holy Names. He would hop in the open gyms with us. He could still go.
Yeah.
Okay, Lee got game a little bit.
You feel me? Yeah, no, Lee could go, and he was like 4-time all league, all time like top 10 points, assists, stuff like that. So, you know, when it comes to the guards, I know Coach Bovair will always bring up me and Lee as example. Even now that we're gone, from what the players tell me, they're like, you and Lee Bailey. So, you know, he's one of those dudes for sure.
Now Lee's a good guy, man. Now you're in the Pac West. I want to talk about this exact story. 2 games. You get to play a team by the name of Holy Names University, Go Hawks. And, you know, you're playing against a guy, I think his name is like Marcellus Perry or something like that at the time. It's now Howard. Well, this is my middle name.
Okay, bet.
So
I think I know him.
yeah, I got to play I think 4 times or 3. I think once my junior year in Hawaii.
Yeah, we played you guys once that year.
And then twice senior year in Hawaii and Oakland.
Yeah.
I'm 1-2 against you. Better team. For sure. But going into the game, I caught something you said earlier. You know, he's a skinny dude, spin move. Right? You said that. On our scouting report, we're going down scouting report, right? And we get to Austin Pope. All right, Dre, this is going to be your matchup. He likes to dribble one way, spin. So, like, we're watching the tape. I'm like, dang, it's a lot of spins. But, like, no one's stopping it. So then I'm like, that's a prime example of you don't need 1,000 moves to work. You just need one move to work 1,000 times.
That's a fact. That's a fact.
And that was the move. It was that dribble. It was a dribble left, spin,
yeah.
right? Or was it dribble right, spin left?
Right. I like, so people force me right all the time because I'm left-handed.
Yeah.
So I'll dribble hard right, and then once I get you leaning, I spin back around and finish with the left.
Like right in that paint. Like I know, because I watch basketball film. I'm a basketball historian, so like I'm watching it on film and in person. I'm like, I know exactly when he's gonna spin here. 1, 2,
and
gets both feet in the paint. I'm like, oh, his spin's coming automatically.
And it's like, and you a lefty too, so you know it's so hard to guard lefties. It's so tough, just naturally. So, and for me, I never like worked on that move. It just happened, and like I'm able to like read instinctively like what defenders are gonna do.
Yeah.
But in college, that was the bread and butter for sure. Like I was.
It was so much of a bread and butter. There's a viral clip where you did the right spin step back, do fail.
Yeah.
on the left wing.
Yes.
I need you to send me that clip.
Absolutely.
So I could put that on there.
Yeah, because what's it with my man Filet? My man Filet got a hold of it. And,
Jesse, shout out
Jesse, man. And it was because people started getting a hold of the spin so much that I had to, obviously, you know, as a hooper, you got to expand your game. And, I expanded my jumper and all that stuff. And I, boom, spun off, and I had to switch with the big, and you know, he touched earth a little bit, and
No, it wasn't a little bit, but he was out of there.
Yeah,
he made the shot, right?
You know, yeah. Oh, and I hit the shot, and the crowd went nuts. Like, and it was actually funny because I was against Montana Billingsley, is like a school in the GNAC.
Oh no, Montana Billings, like
yeah,
gray and yellow. Yeah. We played them too.
Yep, and I know that was the game right before we went to Christmas break.
Mm-hmm.
So we're trying to win that as early. I'm trying to win that, no overtime, no nothing, so I can catch a flight.
Get out of there.
Yeah, so like literally, I want to say, like first half, I had like 18, and we was cooking them, and that was the final shot of my run that I had. It was like boom. And then I went to halftime. I looked at my coaches like, let's go home. Like, let's go. We good. Let's go. Let's go home.
Let's go. That's amazing. We seen that clip. That clip was also on the scouting report because we played y'all in January. So yeah, we saw that clip. We said, oh yeah. He think he gonna get that off on us. Nah.
Nah, man, that's so funny because like my coach, Coach Bross, shout out to Coach Bross, man. Like he was very connected with a bunch of the other assistants in the league. So, you know, you guys, they all do scouting reports and they do stuff. They put together clips and
facts, and they get stuff from other teams.
You know what I mean? And like, I remember there was like a bunch of teams that would be like, the players would be like, bro, like, we had to watch film on you, bro, and why you was doing that? Like, you know, why you? I'm like, bro, Coach Rivera was allowing me to do it. So
yeah,
if you're gonna allow me to do it, I'm gonna get my stuff off for sure. You know what I mean? But yeah, that was one of them ones.
Man, you know, playing, you know, last thing on just D2 in general, just playing in college, man, it's like a blood transfusion amongst everybody.
Yeah.
Like, know, I'm able to make friends and people I didn't go to school with.
Yeah, no, for
example.
Sure. Yeah.
And it was always bittersweet to me because I was like, if I was able to be healthy, if I didn't snap my ankle before I went to Holy Names, I was like, man, at this time, you know, you were top 10. What year did you go to junior college? What was your last year?
15, 16 or something like that.
15, 16 my last year, right?
Yeah, I think so.
So at the same time, I was top 5 scorer in the state, 22 points a game. So you're top 10 in the world, right? I'm top 5 in the state in scoring. Mind you, I was gonna go to Western Nebraska National JUCO.
Ooh.
I turned that down. I was like,
they're tough too. They're tough.
And they're like, yeah, you come here. We got schools ready to look at you. And I was just like, man,
they let their guards go.
I'm gonna get it from Sacramento. Being knucklehead, didn't get it from Sacramento. went straight D2. But I remember I was like, well, I'm about to come tear this conference up.
And you did, bro.
I didn't though.
Well, like maybe the way you wanted to.
The way I wanted to. Like, I didn't want to average 10 points both years. Like,
I will say this: if you probably broke down your stats against us,
great, definitely great 3-game span right there.
Yeah, no, like you really would like, especially senior year, man, like. The game on the island, bro, you went like absolutely bonkers. Like, bro, like
I was going at your assistant coach.
Yeah, Danley Walker.
Oh, that's assistant coach now, man. Shout out Danley, man. All up. Yeah.
My sniper, man. But you know, he had, you know, bro, I remember there was like 4 straight possessions and you was getting to it, bro. And we had to call a timeout. We was like, yo, like we gotta put some more urgent. We gotta switch this matchup, bro.
Yeah.
Like you know what I mean? You was really like, I know you idolize him and stuff a lot. Like, bro, you was really IT.
Come on, man.
IT too. Like,
come on.
It was literally that. Like, bro, you was getting to your bag. Like, and I know, but it's all situational. You know what I mean?
For sure.
You know, coaching the style, the players, because you guys had such a team where it was like on any given night, somebody can have a 20 ball.
100%. Yeah,
you know
that's
what
true.
I mean? Versus my senior year, it was pretty much set. Like
we knew
NBA, it was gonna be me and Eric. You know, we was gonna put up our numbers, and you know, we might have a couple other people, but with you guys, that's what made you guys so tough to beat.
Yeah.
Because when you guys beat us in Holy Names, y'all always getting to it. You know, everybody was getting to it. So I'm giving Sel a shout out on his own thing, man, because he really be getting to it.
I appreciate that, man. And I also appreciate the lie. You know, people, I mean, you said we were hard to beat. A lot of teams beat us that year.
Yeah. but bro, like, you know,
it was tough games.
Every game we played y'all, it was close. We never blew y'all. I think my junior year we got y'all.
Junior year, yeah, that was the year after y'all beat Cal.
No, senior. That was my senior year, but my junior year team. It's because we had Rondell and we had score. We had like a polished senior team that we finished 3rd in the Pac West that year.
No, but no one was beating HPU.
Oh, that year,
goodness.
That I'm still pissed about it because that's our rival.
Yeah.
And they beat us every time we played them.
They were really good.
Yeah, no. They went to the national tournament.
Top 8, Elite 8.
Yeah, they got it. And tip my hat off to all them dudes, Chauncey and Cole
Norquist from SAC.
Yeah, Cole Norquist was tough.
Yeah.
Connor Looney, from Alaska, white boy with the bun.
I know, man. I remember that 5 because they went like 6 players deep.
Bro, they was tough.
I remember them, yeah.
Bro, they was tough. And then our senior year, and I mean, I always get into arguments about this, but I just feel, well, let me ask you this from your perspective.
Okay.
Top 3 MVP candidates our senior year.
Ooh, man. Had to throw D off in there.
Yeah.
Gosh.
Kalidou Diop was
He shot 65% from the field.
Tim Duncan.
He wasn't missing.
Tim Duncan.
He didn't miss. And you got to throw in who else is in the conference that year? I could be blanking.
So we had who ended up winning was Trevor Hill from Dixie.
Dixie. Okay. Yeah. Okay.
Jeremiah Gray, a Dominican.
He
He
had game, but he wasn't in my MVP.
Yeah.
It was between Dioff and you had to throw in dang, we had so many killers.
Nah, I'm gonna tell you what it was. The final 4 final candidates that made the list was Trevor 1, me and Kalidou tied for 2, and then the third person that they put in was Niksha. You remember Federico from HPU, the dude that shot it from like
our senior year?
Yeah, our senior.
Or was Dioff my junior year?
No, Dioff was our junior. We came
over senior Dioff.
So like so I thought Dioff. I honestly, so Dioff. If anybody got MVP over me, it should have been Dioff. I'll say that. I would say because he was literally like playing on Cal Bat.
One of them ones, bro.
And he was. I promise you, so efficient. But for me, my argument was it's almost like the Russell Westbrook when he got MVP, right?
Mm-hmm.
You lose. I lost my our junior year, I lost every starter. Senior year, brand new team. We went to the Pac-West tournament back-to-back years. Never been done in Chaminade's history.
Yeah.
Right? We finished a 5 seed. We went all the way, lost to APU, lost to Azusa that year, the little guard we was talking about. McLean, I think that's his name.
Chill out.
I think that's his name.
But, he gave me 30.
Yeah. You know what I mean? But my thing was like I was top 5 in the conference in points, rebounds, and assists.
This is true.
And I led my team to the playoffs. Now, other teams had dudes that had, like Cal Baptist had squad. They're supposed to do that. Dixie had squad. Like, my team was brand new.
Mm-hmm.
So that was my MVP argument, and I was the only dude in the league. I was a unanimous first-team all-selection. Unanimous. Mm-hmm. So I just had to talk my little talk on here because I was actually talking with Trevor Hill about it 3 days ago.
Yeah.
So I just had to, so if he see this,
I
need my MVP, Trevor.
I might mad at that. You might run it once.
Yeah.
Might run it once. Yeah. Man, enough about college. We can go all day about that.
Absolutely.
I want to ask you one question before I ask this other thing I wanted to talk about. We've talked about this multiple times. Who's more skilled, Bean or Uncle Drew? This is why I flourish.
God damn, you can't do this, man.
You get 30 seconds to explain your case. That's how efficient I am.
Yeah, no, this is very tough for me to say, but I'm gonna go Kobe off the strength because that's my dog.
Got you.
And I feel like he did the most highly skilled things, the left hand shots, everything. He didn't have lay package and everything like and handle, but like he did that at the highest levels you could do it at, and he won 5 times doing that. Being cerebrally skilled. So I'm gonna always go with Kobe, but I'm not mad at Uncle Drew. But go for your case on why.
Now, before I start my timer, everybody knows my standpoint on why I think Kyrie's the most offensively skilled player we've ever laid eyes on to touch this earth. I'm gonna tell you why. 6'2", 3 with shoes on. Give him that.
Yeah, give him that.
He could post up anybody. Don't matter you 6'5", 6'6", 6'7", don't matter. Get to the rack. 3-level scorer. Can handle the rock. Can shoot from deep. Shoot the midi at an
incredibly efficient.
At an incredible efficient clip. Only person out of 9 NBA players to be in the 50, 40, 90. What are we talking about here? I don't even think Bron or Bean are in that.
No, they're not.
That's what I'm saying, which is crazy, right?
I don't know if Mike was in it.
I don't think Mike was either.
Mike wasn't shooting a tray ball like that. Ain't no way.
So we got Kyrie in there, right? He could post you up. He could finish a butter rim when he really wants to. He can get to his spots. You can't stop it. And then once again, might I say, he is 6'2.5". That's my reason.
No, and I'm not mad at you at all. but it's just like, you know, God rest his soul. I know you know, that's my dog forever.
Yeah, it can't go wrong, really.
But at the end of the day, like I'm also a realist, and Kyrie is absolutely the most skilled, like I think I've ever seen, for sure, consistently.
I'm glad you could say it on the pod.
Yeah, and you got it on the pod.
Yeah,
facts. But you know,
he's an artist out there, bro.
Nah, he really is, man. And you know the things he's able to do with the basketball, and people sleep on it too. He's actually a very good defender. I think people sleep on it. Like, I mean, somebody with that much offensive game, you got to be a good defender. You got to know what people are going to do and anticipation. I'm looking forward to him winning the championship this season.
Say that, man. You know, outside the Sacramento Kings, if the Nets win the championship, I will be very happy. I'm not gonna say what I'm gonna do. I'm not gonna say I'm gonna do something and not do it, because I'm not a diehard Net fan. But I rock with Kyrie heavy, so I do hope Kyrie gets his second ring this year, man. That would be. I'll be able to go on a rant on that. Yeah. I can hop right on here in this camera and go on a rant.
Bro, when he wins, when they do win, we gotta have a part 2 of the pod, and we just gotta come talk our shit.
Gotta come talk, you know what I'm saying, pop our stuff, man. But yeah, man, Kyrie's one of those ones, and I watch this game a lot, and I kind of like to model my game after him. I like to be skilled, because growing up I wasn't necessarily always skilled. I was better in other sports. So basketball, I was just a good shooter, played solid defense. I was really the enforcer, you know what I'm saying? You need me getting somebody's face, cut somebody out. Yeah. I do that. Yeah. I'm a little hot head on the team, right? Yeah. So as I get older, you know, I wanted to be, you know, I want to imply or implement more skill to my game. But
which I thought you definitely showed against that, for sure. I
appreciate that, man.
No, for sure.
You know what I'm saying? You know, I appreciate that, man. Yeah. You know, so I said, hey, I need my jersey. Go ahead and send me that.
Yeah, need that.
I need that right now. I like storytelling.
Absolutely.
I love it. Is there one story against a pro guy, NBA guy, in the off season, whether it be open gym or working out, where you're like, wow, one, I'm in the gym with this guy, or two, I'm getting to play against this guy?
Yeah, I mean, I have this summer, I think, was the summer of separation for me in my career, being around Wasserman and, you know, what they have to provide. They have from Shea Gildress to Clay to Evan Mobley's, and, you know, the rookie class, Jalen Duren, that's with the Pistons, top 10, and Jules Bernard and Remy Martin, fresh off of Natty. I was able, Peyton Pritchard. So for me, it was like testing myself against them dudes. So playing against him all summer was great, but then there was one moment where me and my close friend, shout out to Dre Spite, we were getting up our 1,000 shots on the gun. Okay. And we're about 800 in, and Klay Thompson was working out lifting, and he came onto the court with his trainer, Charlie, and Zach, works with the Lakers. So I didn't know my boy Dre was gonna do this, you know, but we just shooting, and then mid shot, I hear him leave, like he's supposed to shoot next, and I hear him like, "Yo, Klay, you want to play me and my boy in ones?" I look back like, "Bro, what the, like, you're not gonna tell me?" Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And Klay looked at us and said, "Yes, sir. Like, let's do it. Let me finish my workout, and me and my brother, we gonna hop into ones." So I'm like, "Oh, damn, I gotta get right." Like, you know what I mean? We 800 shots in, my arms is heavy. I'm like, "All right, bet." So he hit us up, and he was like, "Yo, come over to this side of the court." We get over there, and they had we played 3 games of 1-on-1. First shot was like the first game, we're straddling the line. It was like a 5-second count, things like that. Klay won that spot, 5-4-4. Me and my boy Dre had 4. But the thing that made it crazy was because it's Klay Thompson, I think he barely missed the NBA 75. He should have been NBA 75.
Yeah, facts. This is like right after that.
I think he was like, I think he should have been NBA. But so I'm like, damn, like we about to hoop with like one of the best players ever played the game. So, and he's fresh off a chip, you know what I mean? And so Dre gets on first against Klay. He gets on first, my boy. And I'm like, oh, man, like this is going to set the tone to tell me all I need to know about this Klay Thompson. Klay drives he's right-handed. He drives left, take 2 dribbles, tries to shoot it, and Dre blocks the shot. So in my head, I'm like, oh, I think we're going to be all right then. You know what I mean? I'm like, bro, we're going to be solid then. Like if my boy can do that, I think he set the tone early. So each spot, the first 2 spots, it was 5-4-4. Me and my boy Dre scored 4 at the spots. His brother Michael had like 2 or 3. The last spot I won. I won 5. Klay had 3. Dre had 3, and Michael had 2. So if you calculate the scores, I think me and Dre and him all tied with the same score, and that instilled the utmost confidence in me. I was doing like hezzy pull, my patented spin move. I got it off on him. But must I mind you, to his defense, you know what I mean? He never seen me or Dre play a day in his life. So to pick up the ones and just hoop, like, you know, Me and Dre seen him play for years, so we know everything he want to do. We know his scouting report, but I was definitely able to get my stuff off on Clay, and it gave me the most confidence I think I've ever had as a hooper. You know, I walked out that gym feeling like, oh, I think I'm gonna be all right. You know what I mean? Everything I thought I was, I think I'm that. And then we was leaving out the next day in the car. He pulled up in his car right next to us, and he was like, yo, man, yesterday, he's like, y'all could really hoop, man. Like, where y'all trying to hoop at? He's like, bro, best offensive and defensive players I played this week. Like, I know he probably played a bunch of dudes, but he's like, y'all some killers for real. Keep going. So that's all the confidence you need. And shout out to Clay and Michael, you know what I mean? And my man Rob and everybody at Wasserman, man. You know, I definitely wanted to get a hold of that film, but, you know, it was so hard to, you know, because of certain security things. But deep down, everybody knows what happened that day. And that set the tone for me. I'm good.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's a story you can tell your kids one day.
Oh, for sure.
I got to play against Hall of Famer, 4-time champ,
Come on,
Klay
man.
Thompson at 1v1.
Come on, man.
Right? Those are the moments you live for as a kid growing up. Those are the moments you live for as a professional athlete. You're going to test your abilities against the best of the best. Because ain't nobody ducking smoke when you at that level. Like, you want to get there, so you want all smoke.
Absolutely.
Fast forward, crazy story, by the way. You have another story where you do a hezzy pull, and that clip is shown to millions of people, and Tracy McGrady's in the back saying, where you get that move from? So I want to talk about that real quick, man. Being able to play in front of one of your favorite players that you talked about. I remember you saying that was one of your favorite players growing up.
Man.
You had to play 1v1 in front of him in his own league.
Dog, I didn't even, man, you set me up for that. I wasn't even ready for this, man.
Come on That's what we do, baby.
Yeah, you the best in the biz for that, man. So, man, listen, I think for me, man, it was, so I was playing one-on-one. I was working out with Ron Artest's son in front of Ron Artest. And, you know, after we got done with the workout, he's like, you guys play one-on-one in Van Nuys. And I beat him pretty bad. So Ron was like, bro, like, where do you hoop at? Meta's like, where do you hoop at? Told him my background, played overseas, all this stuff, looking to be in the NBA and the G League. He was like, hey, you know about the OBL? I'm like, what is that? It's a one-on-one basketball league. I was like, oh, T-Max thing. So that's my favorite player all the time. I've heard of it for sure. He's like, I'm gonna hit him up tonight, and I want you to go. It's coming up this weekend. It's on a Tuesday.
Yeah.
Next day, I get an email from Mac and his staff, like, you've been invited to the OBL, all this stuff. I'm like, bet, like, you know what I mean? What's up? So, you know, that's what I do. Like, I love isolation scoring. That's my thing. So went down there, and we played 7 games in one-on-one, and I'm used to playing, as you are too, one-on-one, maybe 3 dribbles or 5-second shot countdown. This one is like a 12-second countdown. If you miss it, you can get it back.
Jesus.
You can, and then even if you score, you got to come back and play defense the next time. It's not make it, take it. So it's real life tough one. It's tiring. But I ended up going 6-1. I lost to a 6'10" dude because he was backing me down and just getting his.
That's cheap.
Yeah, you know, but
yeah.
I didn't lose to a guard in there. And T-Mac thing, so my boy Jalil, shout out to Jalil. He knows how much I love Mac, and I took his hezzy pull. I literally patented that. I've been doing that since I was like 8 years old.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? His specific hezzy pull. Because before I loved Kobe, Mac was my favorite player by far. That's why I wear number 1.
Yeah.
So Jalil was like, I'm like, I just scored, and I'm like tired, and the dude called a timeout. You get a timeout, and the one's just one. And then Jalil was like, yo, Mac watching. You watching right now? I'm like, all right, bet. He's like, do the move.
Hell yeah.
I'm like, all right, bet. So got the ball, walked him down. I'm like, shit, I'm gonna do it. Did it, cashed it. And then all I hear is like, where you get that move from? Where you get that? And I look back and I'm like, oh, that's Mac. I'm like, oh, and I had to keep my composure.
Thanks.
And I did it like 3 or 4 times in that thing. And every time he watched me, and then I got the utmost praise from him, man. He was like, bro, I think you can play at the highest levels. I know it's a lot of things that happen in between that, but you need to stay the course because you could really hoop. Like, and then, I mean, coming from your idol, you know what I mean? That's like, that means the world to you, you know what I mean? And this summer, like Clay, the team, like this summer really put things in perspective for me, because that clip, I didn't expect it to go viral. But then they did the side-by-side, and, man, I forgot about that, dog. That's crazy. I
definitely didn't. I remember that. I said, that's super dope. It's one of those moments where you're like, wow, I got to play against this guy in college. I get to see his growth on social media. I get to see his growth being a distant friend from a different city. And just see you know, go out there and chase your dreams, man. It's dope to see that.
Man, I appreciate
and one
that.
thing I can take away from what you're saying right now is, man, in this sport we play, this basketball sport, it's one of the toughest things to honestly keep going. It's easy to say just keep going, like my boy Ike says, just keep going. But when you're really in the trenches with it and you like, man, every day in and out, and you're not getting the love you deserve, or you working so hard, but you feel like no one's seeing you, doesn't mean your due season isn't around the corner.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So like you, this last summer leading up to now, like you put so much work in, your due season is around the corner, man. Like I said, you're in Sacramento for a reason. You on this podcast for a reason. Everything you're doing is for a reason, man. You just got to stay the course, continue to be you, continue to be yourself, and continue to just work hard and just outwork anybody who's trying to outwork you. That's really the blueprint to be a successful person, sports or not, right? That's just what it is. And like I said, even next year for you, I feel like next year you gotta keep elevating, keep getting better, keep getting better, and keep being in front of more eyes and better experiences under Wasserman and things like that, man. But you're doing really good for yourself, for your family. I know your family's proud. I know your city's proud. I know your friends and everybody watching is proud, man. So I'm proud of you. And like I said, man, me and Austin, man, we not the super closest of like brothers or anything like that, but we've been able to talk off and on for the past couple years since college. For sure. And we've always stayed in touch, man. And one of the most genuine guys I've met. I just want to go ahead and give you your flowers, man, while we can. And
man, so I
you know what it is.
Yeah, man.
Come on now.
You know, I feel the same. You know about you.
It's
and,
good.
It's always good to get your flowers when you still here. You know what I mean? And I think, like you said, like seeing your evolution as well as from college to this to the pod. Like, bro, you said, it's like year by year, adding something different. Facts. And knowing that it's for the big picture. You know what I mean, of what you're trying to do. And I know I'm right there, but regardless of being right there, once you do get there, we still got work to do.
Nah, man, you're not right there. You there.
Yeah.
You already you playing you at the Stockton Kings training camp and things like that. Like you're there.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But since you're there, I want to pause real quick. Because I know I got your mind on a more sentimental note.
Yeah.
Now we're gonna go ahead and hop in these riddle questions real quick. I like to hop into this backyard trivia.
Let's do that.
Right when I get them on a nice thinking sentimental note where their mind's not thinking. You know what I'm saying about these where their mind's not thinking about trick questions. I bring it out.
Ah, man.
Perfect time. All right, are you ready for this?
Absolutely. Come on, man.
What does MacDonald spell?
McDonald's.
What does MacDowell spell?
McDowell.
What does MacHine spell?
Macin.
Yeah.
Macin. And I hit my head on the joint. Hey, yeah. I'm like Macin.
Hold on. Okay. Okay. Let's try it again. MacDonald.
McDonald.
MacDowell.
McDowell.
MacHine.
Mackin. McDonald's, McDowell, Mackin.
What? Yeah, hell yeah.
I don't know.
Hell yeah.
Nah, I ain't know that. What is I ain't caught it yet, dog. What is YouTube?
What does MacDowell spell?
McDowell.
MacHine.
Mackin, McDowell, Mackin. I ain't caught it. Am I being slow with McDowell?
We got us one.
McDowell, Mackin. McDowell.
We got us. Austin.
I'm horrible with riddle, bro. I'm horrible with this stuff, bro.
Exactly. So I got your mind thinking elsewhere.
Oh.
Fam, I got so much love for you right now. I'm gonna tell you the answer.
Please do.
What does MacHine spell? It's machine, Negro.
Oh my God. Oh my. See, you got me going. I'm like, Mac.
Oh.
You said Mac with the.
Yeah, McDonald's, McDowell. He said Mackin. He said it, Mackin. No, it's Mackin.
Yeah. Dog.
Hey, I ain't gonna ask him no other ones. Man.
Nah, bro, you got me. Hey, dog.
I got one more for you.
Man, come on, bro.
How do you say this statement?
Come on, bro.
The yolk of an egg is white, or the yolk of an egg are white?
The yolk of an egg is white. It's yellow. Okay, I caught that one quicker though. He did. Yeah, I was like, oh wait, hold on. Yo can't even wipe that. You got me. All right.
Oh man, hey, I think I'm gonna walk out 2-0 today, man. Appreciate you for joining the riddle portion of this podcast.
I was not prepared for that. He buttered me into the thing with the sentimental thing, give me my flowers.
Come on, man. That's what we do here, man. You know what I'm saying? We mess with your mind before we mess with your mind. You did what I'm saying. Oh my gosh, I'm in my bag right now. Man, we've talked about a lot of things today. We've, left room for a part 2.
Oh, of course, for
we
sure.
have definitely, got a lot of good stories from you, man. And I know there's a lot more to talk about. That's why I want to leave it for a part 2 in the near future, because I want you to add more stories when you're in the league.
Absolutely.
You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
But there is a 2-part thing here. I'm going to ask you 2 things. A serious question and a funny question. Or a serious question and more of like a question that's like a lighthearted question.
Okay.
Which one do you want first?
Lighthearted.
I need
Yes, sir.
all-time starting 5 from point guard to center.
And I could put it any way I want it though.
Any way you want it. All time. to win an NBA championship. Because you asked Miss earlier with current players.
Yeah. Okay.
Actually, nah. Current players starting 5. Yeah, give me your current players starting 5.
Oh, NBA
right now.
I go Bron 1 at the 1 spot.
I love that. Okay.
Yeah, I go Bron 1 with his mans that he was in Cleveland with. Go Ree at the 2.
Okay.
I go KD 3. Giannis 4. 5. I'm gonna go Embiid.
I like that 5.
I go Embiid. Yeah,
Like
I love Joker, but I go Embiid. Go Embiid for sure. Well, yeah, what's yours?
I'm gonna go Bron.
Bron 1.
Curry.
Yeah.
Kyrie.
Ooh.
Giannis.
Okay.
KD.
Yeah, you got 2.
I'm gonna have Giannis, clang and bang the centers.
Yeah,
pause,
of course. Yeah.
and then I'm gonna have KD on the 4, Bron at the 4. It don't matter.
Yeah,
KD
whoever,
on the 3.
yeah, and then you got
we got Curry and Kyrie playing 2. That's a hybrid 5. I don't need a legit center no more.
No,
hybrid
of course.
5.
You don't know, and that's what I wanted to low key do, because I love Steph on the court, because it just attracts so much attention. You know what I mean? But I went with the bigger lineup, and I know Kyrie gonna get us right too. So
not for sure.
It's a clutch. So what's your other joint? Oh, you want me to answer all time?
No. Actually, not all time. No, I actually wanted the current, because all time that's too easy. That's way too easy.
Yeah. It's the same names we hear.
Because it's got to be the 3 behind you off rip.
Oh, off top.
Off top.
Yeah.
And then that's all I need to hear. That's all I need to hear,
man. Off top, them 3 is in there for sure. And then, I'm personally, I grew up obviously a Laker fan, but I don't put Shaq top 5 for me.
Okay.
Because I was able to actually watch a lot of film and study a lot of Hakeem Olajuwon.
Woo.
And
different breed.
Yeah, and I love Hakeem's like skill level and what he brought to the game at the 5. And I think he was the only player in NBA history to win MVP, Defensive Player of the Year, championship, Finals MVP.
Giannis
is him and Giannis. The only one that did that.
Wow.
So you know what I mean? That's an elite class. So
very elite.
Yeah, and you could throw whoever else you want in there in that. That's my 4, and you could throw whoever you want in there in the last spot.
I like that.
Yeah.
Now, more of a serious question, man. This one, lock into your camera when you answer this. For those watching out there, when it comes to perseverance, what is one thing that makes you persevere?
My family. My mom and my grandma essentially raised me. I grew up in like a single parent household for a few years, and I saw what my mom had to go through and persevere through, and still to this day does. And my grandmother had sacrifices that they had to make for me to be successful, be who I am today. So for me, whenever times get tough, times get rough, things get a little bit down for like everybody. We all go through it in our own different ways. Like I always look back to those days with them, and knowing that like if they could do it, those are like my superheroes. You know what I mean? And my, Batman, Superman, we talk about those kind of things. Those are like superheroes to me. I seen them do it, and the things they've been able to do with the things that are going on with families, relationships, divorce, things like that, and to be able to still go to work, sick, putting food on the table. Like, man, that's those two right there, Mount Rushmore for sure. That's the reason why I push through. And anytime I get tough, I always look at them. You know what I mean? Easy call.
Love it, man. Great answer. Stand up guy. Yeah. Wow, this has been a great episode, man. Mind you, this episode kind of happened impromptu. Yeah. We talked about filming the pod, and then we kind of got here and like, you know what? Let's go ahead and film it. Got Trio here.
Yeah, my man Trio behind the camera. You know what I mean?
Shout out Trio, man. Trio really be, you know what I'm saying? Trio really be doing the dang thing behind the camera with the buttons and the writing down the notes, man. He really the GOAT over there, bro.
Yeah,
for real.
Facts. Give him his flowers while you're here too, man.
100%, man. And you know, I'm just gonna say this. The reason why I want to leave for a part 2 is because you have a special shirt on, like I keep saying. Yeah. Stockton basketball. So I want to bring you back on here when you make the team.
Absolutely,
you know
brother.
And so and there's no other way
to do it.
Yeah. And nothing else. and no other way to do it. Yeah. But after that, it has to be after that.
Let's do it. And then then I'm saying this on camera, so you catch this. I'm gonna hit you too right when we get off. When I come on from our part 2, Mezzy. I know we got a lot of stuff going on with the Sack Kings and all that, but tap in with my man and us. We'll chop it up. We'll be right here. Real cool, grab some eats, chop it up, and keep it solid. You know how we do it.
Let's do it, man. Yeah. I met Mezzy at Media Day, yo. So
great dude.
Definitely, man. By the time y'all see this, it might be a month from now. So who knows where he gonna be? He might be, you know, I'm not gonna say it, but you know, hey, I know what kind of talent my guy got, man. But I appreciate you pulling up on me, bro. All love this way. You know what it is, man.
Always, man. To the end, bro.
Hell yeah. And we do say one thing at the very end. It's 2 words. Can you guess what 2 words those are?
Backyard.
Nope.
Pod? What? What's the 2 words?
I say at the beginning and end of all my reaction videos.
Oh man.
Only one person's got this so far. Everybody's been on here. Only one.
I'm not gonna sit up here and be that person. So I hate to be losing and stuff. So tell me what I say. I'm not gonna.
We gonna say you dig, man.
You dig, man.
And put some type of spin on it. Whatever you want to say on 3.
All right.
I'm your host, Marcellus Howard, man. It's been a real one, my boy, Austin Pope, also known as AP. If you're watching on YouTube, hit that like button, share, subscribe, comment. If you're listening on the audio platforms, subscribe to us, follow, do all that good stuff, man. And catch you on the next episode. 1, 2, 3. You dig! Yes, sir.
You feel me?
Hell yeah.